billions of people open Spotify every day and hit play on their favorite track. But across the entire history of the platform, only 5 songs have reached a truly extraordinary level of streams, numbers that reflect not just popularity but cultural dominance. These are the songs that became unavoidable, on radio, in films, in cafes, and in earbuds across every continent. Let us count down the 5 most streamed tracks in Spotify history. At number 5 is As It Was by Harry Styles, which has accumulated approximately 4.2 billion Spotify streams and became one of the most decorated singles of the decade. It debuted at number 1 in over 34 countries simultaneously and spent 87 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, the longest chart run of any song in that period. In the UK, it held the number 1 position for longer than any other song in a decade. The melancholy, pulsing synth-pop track addressed Styles' own feelings of isolation and expectation in ways that resonated with hundreds of millions of listeners, navigating the emotional aftermath of the pandemic years. Number 4 is Starboy by The Weeknd featuring Daft Punk, a collaboration between 2 of the most distinctive acts in modern music that became a defining cultural moment of 2016 and 2017. With approximately 4.3 billion streams, it is The Weeknd's second appearance on this list, a testament to his extraordinary dominance of the streaming era. Starboy won the Grammy for Best Urban Contemporary Album and reached number 1 in over 20 countries. The track's dark, minimalist production, crafted in part by Daft Punk, gave The Weeknd's image a cinematic quality that elevated him from R&B star to global icon. Its sustained streaming performance years after release reflects the timeless quality of the collaboration. At number 3, and arguably the biggest surprise on this list, is Sweater Weather by The Neighbourhood, a track with approximately 4.4 billion Spotify streams and one of the most extraordinary slow-burn streaming stories in music history. Released in 2012 by a then-unknown indie band from California, it never topped the charts on release. It found new life through film soundtracks, TikTok trends, and a generation of listeners who discovered it as the perfect soundtrack to autumn melancholy. Years of sustained algorithmic recommendation and playlist placement have turned a debut single into one of the most played songs in Spotify history, proof that in the streaming era, longevity beats virality. Number 2 is Shape of You by Ed Sheeran, which has amassed approximately 4.6 billion streams. For several years, it held the record for the most streamed song in Spotify history, a title it has since relinquished, but only to one other track. Released in January 2017 alongside Castle on the Hill, it immediately broke streaming records and sat at the top of charts in over 30 countries. Shape of You spent 33 consecutive weeks inside the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100. Ed Sheeran wrote the song in a single session, originally intended for another artist, but kept it himself after hearing how well it came together. It remains one of the most played tracks in UK Spotify history. And the most streamed song in Spotify history is Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, with 5.24 billion streams, making it the first song in the entire history of recorded music to cross the 5 billion mark on Spotify, a milestone confirmed on Spotify's 20th anniversary in April 2026. Released in late 2019, Blinding Lights spent more than 90 consecutive weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, the longest chart run of any song in the history of that chart, which dates back to 1958. The 80s-inspired synth-pop production, driven by a relentless, neon-drenched aesthetic, became the sound of a generation. It reached number 1 in over 30 countries and earned The Weeknd a Grammy, a Billboard Music Award, and a Super Bowl halftime show performance watched by over 100 million viewers. More than 5 years after its release, it is still being streamed millions of times every single day, and no other song has come close to its record. From As It Was at 4.2 billion to Blinding Lights at 5.24 billion, the first song ever to cross 5 billion streams on Spotify. These 5 tracks have been played a combined total of over 22 billion times. Which one is your personal favorite? Tell us in the comments, and subscribe for more music rankings every week.